How many Atelier games do we even have now on the Switch? We have a whole bunch of them now on the Switch, and I'm very happy to see that. Okay, so we have gotten the entire Arland trilogy, the Dusk trilogy, Logy and Suel. We have Lulua, and then we have the absolute newest entry, Ircha. I've reviewed a bunch of these games on my channel, just look around. Let's just all forget about the spin-off Nelky game, okay? That is not even worth mentioning. Now here is my review and comparison for the entire Dusk trilogy, now out for the Nintendo Switch. Story. In Atelier Ayesha, you are an herbalist living alone with your cow next to some ruins, off which where you lost your sister mysteriously some years ago. She just vanished there in the ruins. Some old alchemist visits the ruins and tells Ayesha that she can still, however, rescue her sister, but only with the help from alchemy. I love this storyline. It's very sad and deep, and maybe even the darkest Atelier game out there, really, story-wise. Now, in Escha and Logy, the story takes place about 4 years after Ayesha, and here you can play as either a male or a female. That is the first time that you can actually play as a male character. They are two alchemists that work together. They go on quests and a bunch of other adventure-y journeys to help the people recover from the catastrophic event known as the Dusk. This is the one game that I haven't played earlier, as I've already played the other two on my PS3 and my PS Vita many years ago. Now in Shallie, you once again get to choose between two characters to play as. Shallie Stara, the pirate ship leader who is searching for help for her home village, which is suffering from a drought, or Charlotte, a girl living with her widowed mom in an atelier workshop who takes on small dirty jobs in the town like cleaning the streets for trash, all the while dreaming of becoming a great alchemist. Shallie's storyline takes place about 6 years after Escha and Logy. You don't have to have played the earlier games in this trilogy in order to enjoy either of these games. So you don't have to play Ayesha before Escha and Logy and so on. You can jump in anywhere. Gameplay. Common for all three games are the basic core mechanics, such as walking around, travel the land through overworld maps, doing alchemy and doing a variety of quests and objectives, gathering a lot of materials out and about, and fighting in turn-based combat. I mean, if you like one of these games, you will most likely like all of them, because the gameplay is the same across all Atelier games, only with some minor differences to the combat and the alchemy and like the characters and the setting. But overall it feels pretty much like the same gameplay across all these games. In Ayesha, the camera is fixed, but that doesn't bother me this time that much. The combat has a nice flow, as you can spend action points to kind of double attack from the front or from behind, changing which position you're standing from your enemies. The alchemy is very easy in Ayesha too. Basically, you just have to have the right ingredients. Another thing I love in Ayesha is that you get memory points from almost everything you do, which you can use to unlock more entries in your diary. In Escha and Logy, the combat is similar to Ayesha's, where your teammates work together doing counterattacks or defending. The combat is really addicting. Common for all games is that you have normal attacks, skill attacks, and can use battle items that for the most part either heal you or do damage to the enemies. Alchemy is similar to Ayesha too, easy PC stuff. I'm pretty much looking forward to play this game more, since it is the one game that I haven't played from before. In Shallie, the biggest change to the gameplay is actually the fully rotatable camera this time around. Finally! From this title and out, they kept that. Atelier Shallie was actually, at one time, my favorite Atelier game ever. And I think I said that last year. But now, I've played so many Atelier games that I no longer can have a favorite. But Shallie is a very good game. Depending on which of the two Shallies that you choose, the beginning of the game will be a little different, but they join up with one another further into the game. This game actually has a lot of replayability, because the game feels different depending on which Shallie you choose, actually. I chose Charlotte, the trash sweeping girl. I found her more relatable.
Picking up the trash for almost no cash.
I enjoy the alchemy process here as well. Very straightforward as long as you've collected the needed materials. It's not hard to get into. Don't be scared of the alchemy stuff. It is not hard. With alchemy in all games, you can create weapons and armor, quest items and battle items with the materials that you have collected. The thing with all games in this series is that they are actually solid and complex RPG games. Some people might actually miss out on these titles, but they are actually solid RPG games. There are always something to do, with a whole lot of freedom to the player, to choose what to do whenever you feel like doing it.
Cleaning.
Graphics. It's only natural that the graphics are better the further into the trilogy that we get, but I truly enjoy the graphics in all three games. Common between all games is that all character models look absolutely gorgeous. Ayesha has actually my favorite main protagonist design. The environment looks dated and haven't aged well, but everything looks crispy clear on the Switch screen, and that is what we care about. Some occasional frame drops too, actually. I didn't notice any frame drops in Escha and Logy, on the other hand. The environments are improved in Escha and Logy. I mean, in general though, all Atelier games are very pleasant on the eyes. Shallie looks a bit better again, but still has that dated look to it in some of the places, but we must keep in mind that these games are now older games, so I forgive them for that. The series is known for the gorgeous graphical style. It was actually what drew me in at first to the entire Atelier series, the graphics. They're just so colorful and happy. Just excuse the dated environments and the fixed camera in Ayesha and Escha and Logy, and you may come to love these games the way that I do. Unless this art style isn't your thing to begin with, that is. Which is fair enough.
Plants have all kinds of uses. Huh, this is new. I should record.
Music. Common between all games is great English voice acting. It is awesome. Almost everything has voice acting. Ayesha has fantastic music, maybe my favorite Atelier soundtrack to date. You have actually been listening to the Ayesha soundtrack this entire video so far. As for Escha and Logy, I was pleasantly surprised with the soundtrack in this game as well. The music is just so good and fitting as expected. I can say pretty much the same thing with Shallie. All Atelier music is known for the use of flutes and a lot of interesting, instruments. They are so fancy, I don't even know their names. Again, I must add, I'm very happy that they all have English voice acting.
That was totally amazing. Please hit. What materials should I use?
Verdict. Which of these games to choose if you're only gonna pick up one of them? Now, I recommend getting all of them. The entire trilogy, just go for it, you know? But in Ayesha, it has a very strong story, very deep and depressing, really strong story, and has really fun gameplay. In Escha and Logy, you can play as a male character. If that is the selling point for you, then go for Escha and Logy. Now, with Shallie, it has the rotatable camera, which the other games don't have. So here's the thing. You cannot go wrong with either one of these. I don't think so. You can start anywhere. That is another thing. You don't have to pick the first one in the trilogy. All DLCs are included from the PS3 and PS Vita era. There's a bunch of outfits and, you know, bikinis and all of that stuff. So a lot of fan service stuff is included with each of these games. Either way, I feel like you get a lot of value for your money either way, whichever game you choose. I love collecting and completing stuff in these games, and I've found that the Atelier series fills that gaming need of mine every single time. So the entire Dusk Trilogy is together as a package, getting a 9 out of 10 from me. Because they are, I want to say, underrated games. I feel like I'm the only one on YouTube talking about the Atelier series, but they are actually solid RPG games, and I hope you find enjoyment in them as much as I have. Now, thank you so much for watching. Leave a comment about what you think about the Atelier series, follow my Instagram and Twitter, and hit the like button on this video, and subscribe if you're new. Do that too. Now, I want to know which Atelier girl is your favorite. Thank you so much for watching, everyone. I will see you later.
What should I make? What materials should I use?